I'm at Cwmcarn. I got 1 hour of recording on the SD card. Battery's full, I've got a spare battery in the bag. It's foggy, hasn't started chucking down the rain yet. Temperature's up though, it's about 12 degrees, which is nice. The battery in. I just use this Velcro strap just to retain this cover. Obviously the battery locks in with its own key. They're quite expensive to replace. Okay, we're off. Let's just ride. Don't know which one to start on first. I'm not going to do any off-piste, so reason being it's a solo ride. It's too steep. I'm not risk averse, but I think you've got to be realistic. I'll be wearing the full face on Friday on the uplift at Bike Park Wales, but today I just want to feel as free as I can. Range indication there, it did say 72 miles, it's now saying 65 miles in automatic. In real life that can drop quite significantly the heavier you are, and the conditions, particularly the elevation. So, that's very naturally there. I don't want to go blast into a puddle. So yeah, it's something to be wary of, particularly if you're out doing an epic ride and you thought, oh, I don't know, I've got this amount left, and then all of a sudden you get to a leg burner of a climb. Me and my son rode at Machynlleth called the Dovey Enduro, 62 kilometers, but it actually had 1,900 meters of elevation gain. Well, it took me 5 hours 20 minutes to complete. I just made the cut off. I mean, it was in conditions like this, almost identical. But yeah, I mean, I was on a manual pedal bike, my Cube Stereo 29er, the first 29er that I owned. Enjoyed that bike, carbon frame, very light for what you got. It was fantastic bike, climbed like a goat and descended, maybe not on par with what we got these days, but it descended really well. Some tricky switchbacks, like got a little descending section out. Nice and grippy under tyre. The classic Cwmcarn sandy stone. And here is quite loamy. Ooh. Yeah, for a change, that's not my lens steaming up, that's actual fog. A lot of toe tappers along here, roots sticking out into the trail, like there. Oh, keep your toes pointed in. It's gonna munch away that battery pretty quick with the elevation that I've just done. Of course, when I ride areas where there's less elevation, like Forest of Dean, I'm not even like half of the battery by the time I get back to the car on this 630 watt hour. You're gonna have to measure your remaining battery a lot more closely, or go on one of those fasting diets which my wife keeps suggesting I go on, and yeah, any sort of weight bearing on the knees, and it's no fun. Whereas the e-bike, don't get the problem as much. I can still feel it now as I'm stood on the pedals, crouching slightly, but it's more manageable. Right, Rocky Valley. It's raining out and it's quite windy, so I knew this was going to happen at some point. Oh. Whew. Oh. Oh dear. It's so wet and windy. Quite loose. Glad I wore the waterproof trousers and waterproof socks today, and my 510s that are sort of covered in leather. It does let less through than the cloth or canvas ones I got. Not unrideable. Oh, got the waterproofs on. I think that last puddle did go over my shoes. You feel it cold, but it's not wet. Sealskin socks cost me a pretty packet. They're the long ones. Oh, that one, I can definitely feel the cold in my shoe now. I also bought a shoe dryer. But it's got a timer, so you can set it for 30 minutes, an hour, up to 120 minutes. And it dries your shoes. My alternative to buying the 510 Gore-Tex things, because I had only just bought myself these 510s, the leather ones. I thought, hold on, like, I can't drop another 160 quid. Not that, no, these were about 100 quid actually, the ones I'm wearing, but these Gore-Tex ones are like 160. And I'm like, no, how can I get around this? Right, and I thought, shoe dryer and a pair of waterproof socks. Woo! Wind up here is driving quite hard, and there's a headwind, so I'm not getting the usual speed on this. I've done this climb on a normal bike when I was on the Cannondale Trail SE3. Anything to write home about, but oh, this is windy up there. Crikey. But yeah, I rode this trail perfectly. I was really surprised, and I didn't feel laboured after it either. I thought I'd be like, you know, calf muscles, but I did this trail, Cafall and Twrch, and I was amazed. As far as comfort is concerned though, you can't beat full sus. You do feel like you've got a bit more control. The back wheel on the hardtail was bouncing around a little bit, so I took a bit of air out and risked burping the wheel. Oh, crumbs, that's horrible. But yeah, I probably would stick to a full sus riding the trails up here. But as you know, it just showed the capability of it. in, you know, on trails that are probably a little bit above its pay grade. It's got like 10,000 views or something on YouTube to see where the majority of views have come from for that video, and it is America. I think, like I was watching BKXC video the other night where he's riding Arizona, and there's still signs up on a lot of trails over there where e-bikes are not allowed. So people are still having to ride normal bikes, and the hardtail market is massive because, you know, if you've got a lot of flattish trails with not a massive amount of elevation, you're not going to necessarily want a full sus bike. Ooh. This is a lovely section. Powderhouse. But my son Sam had a big offie on this one further down where the verge is very soft, and he was motoring, he was giving it some beans, and unfortunately his front wheel just tracked off the edge of the verge and he just went down the side, and the bike nearly fell on top of him. He sort of side-swiped it away, but yeah, this feels quite windy in here as well, so I'm gonna take this bit steady. Yeah. Why not? The choice is yours. You can ride it like a racer if you want. I'm not gonna. Not when I'm on my own and it's raging winds and it's slippery. Oh, front wheel actually made contact with a slippery root then. Just felt it twitch. Luckily. Oh, and here. That's where he went there on the right. So that's the probably a 15-foot drop when you're flying along and then your bike is going on top of you. Not nice. And I think it's actually talking to the guy in the shop. It's been the it's had a few crashes. Oh, it's so windy. Oh, whew. My goodness. Oh. Ooh. Okie dokie. Nice loam here. Oh. Definitely getting more feel out of these DB8 brakes since changing the pads to sintered. I think it's just because it's so wet